Aquarius, what is going on? Happy New Year. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're looking at your energy for January 2024. Whoop, whoop. New year, new vibes. I'm hoping you're feeling good. I hope you had a great holiday. And for all the places you did not, we'll start with a little energy clearing, right? So grab a smudge bundle if you want to participate on your end. You don't have to. You can totally just receive the energy that I'm cleansing out or skip ahead, right? I'll try not to talk about anything too important. All right, so let's get into it, Aquarius. Good energy, good vibes. Releasing, letting go. Mercury was in retrograde at the end of the year. It does go direct. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release all the things that do not serve us for our highest and best. Ask for clear messages to come through to help enliven the collective Aquarius consciousness. All right, so welcome to the month of January. Okay, like I said, Mercury was in retrograde at the end of the year. It goes direct January 2nd, so it's a nice little breath of relief. At the end of the month, Uranus goes direct as well. And then we don't have any planets in retrograde for the next couple months, which to me energetically feels, like I said, like a breath of fresh air. We need things to be kind of easy, balanced for a period of time. You know, depending obviously on your situation will kind of dictate how intense the energies played out last year. There is a lot of reshuffling that is happening in the collective. What I love about 2024 is it's really inviting us into new cycles, leaving the old behind and stepping into a new timeline, a new cycle in a more empowered way. Obviously, this comes when we're doing the work, right? And what do I mean by that? I think it's just about making decisions and choices that are more authentically in alignment with who you are, not placating people, what they want from you because it's their own desires, you know? Like, we really have to tune in to what makes us feel good. Our emotional guidance system is a ninja badass. Like, we have to remember that. You know, I know like feeling your feelings is not a popular thing, or we all try to hide the feelings that we're ashamed of, but literally it is a blessing in disguise because it is that signal that something is off, something is wrong, and we really have to kind of readdress or take note of whatever that thing is. We're going to be able to, so the more aware of it we can become, the better we can lay a stronger foundation. The new moon is January 11th in Capricorn, so it gives us the opportunity to kind of scrutinize the nitty-gritty, the places that maybe we have been kind of slacking off, not putting in enough work, or not being aware, right, is what I'm hearing for you more. It's not like, shame on you, you haven't been doing it. This is more just like taking something at its word is what I'm hearing. Like for you, not doing enough vetting, not doing enough investigation before you say yes to a thing, or before you allow someone a certain type of power or, control in your life. And I'm not saying it in control and manipulation. Maybe you have been experiencing that from someone. Maybe that's why that comes out. But this to me feels like I said, if it sounds good right off the bat, it's an okay for you, where maybe some things need to be looked at a little bit closer, a little deeper. Maybe you need to be spending more time, more patience on the decisions that you're making is what I'm hearing. Yeah, grounding yourself a little bit more with that King of Earth. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, you could be dealing with someone with that sign placement. This is also, you know, I feel like people learn the best through the boundaries that we set. They don't learn as well when we tell them what we need, right? Some people do, but some people or most people don't, right? Because we have to lead through example. Conversations can go in one ear and out the other. Maybe they're not listening, etc. But this for you is like, be the example. Set the example for this person, place, or thing. The more that you do that, invest into yourself with that Capricorn energy, by the end of the month, we get a full moon in Leo. And that's really going to help people around us see how the hard work pays off. All right. So with that, let's get going with our overarching energy. Okay, air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is your energy. So really kind of tapping into your power, right? Like, you know what makes you fabulous, what gives you kind of your own stamp, your own signature. Oh, sorry. Well, our King of Air came up again. We'll get to that, I promise. I just get so used to, I'm trying to do it a little bit differently, more efficiently on these monthly readings, so please excuse me. But yeah, what I'm hearing for you with this air energy is really kind of stepping more into your power, being a little more analytical about the decisions that you're making, weighing out the pros and the cons, and not just saying yes to something because you feel like you should or it looks good on paper, etc. Just do your due diligence is what I'm hearing. January is definitely a month for continuing our plans. It's the refinement period is what I've been seeing and hearing. So with that refinement, we have to know where to put our time and our energy, and in a more controlled and decisive way. It's not about splitting the energy, trying out 20 different things and seeing what things stick. It's using our intuition to know which of the 20 things to choose, so we're not doing so much work or making it extra stressful on ourselves. There was something in your environment that I feel did hustle you with that love spell. You might be in love for some of you, or having someone new come in. But this, to me specifically, Aquarius, it feels like this is someone who made you think one thing about them when in fact what you're seeing, what you're hearing is it was the complete opposite, and therefore there is a breakup happening. So like I said, this doesn't have to be relationship driven, romantic, I should say. This can be with a business partner, with a friend, with a family member, someone that we held close and dear to us, that I feel like we kind of bought into their lies, their illusion. That is definitely an energy that was popping up from Mercury retrograde. So no, you're not alone. You know, you're not the first sign. This has been a fairly consistent theme is what I'll say in all the readings. And I do feel like you're heading towards a separation of ways. And as much as it might feel difficult and painful, at the same time, I do feel like it is necessary because it is affecting your mental and emotional well-being, especially because this person tricked you, right, is what I'm hearing. They took advantage of you. They manipulated the situation. Now you're seeing that, and that's actually like a very violating feeling to go through. It's really hard when someone takes our kindness for granted. You will bounce back. Yeah, it's their own shit. Well, and that is, and I think you know this, and that's why I'm saying you will bounce back. If this person has narcissistic tendencies, heavy going through those experiences are really challenging. I've had those relationships in my life. It's very crazy making, depending on how closely attached you guys were will kind of dictate the downfall from this. But I think at the same time, why I'm saying all of this is because I do think that underneath it all, even if they made you feel a little crazy, even if they're making you doubt yourself, second guess yourself or your abilities, etc., it's not about you. And I feel like you're going to have so many for instances this month as you're releasing, grieving, reflecting, and letting go on the situation. That's going to be like, that was a red flag. That was a red flag. I saw that coming, etc. Because Spirit is saying like you're smart and you have your intuition. It's just that you didn't listen to it, or it's, I don't know. I mean, like, in my opinion, like, narcissism is one of the hardest things to sniff out. In order to do so, we have to be really grounded and healthy in our own world. And not in a way to shame anybody. I just think it's easy to get duped, especially if you're a good person, if you have positive morals and values, you don't treat people wrong, you respect, honor life, etc. We kind of have this belief that other people are going to do the same for us. Well, unfortunately, this person didn't, and it's a learning lesson. It was part of your karma. I can attract the relationships that agree with my desires. 1133. So this is actually something that's really helping you empower yourself and make choices that fit a little bit better. I feel like this person, maybe it felt right, but it felt right because of their lies, because of the betrayal, because of, what they kind of lured you into thinking, believing about them. You do have to go it alone for a little bit of time. 7 of Fire. This is so that you can kind of reassess and reevaluate what options you have in front of you, especially as it relates to business. I hear not necessarily the Hermit energy, but I hear for you, Aquarius, it would be really good to just spend some time by yourself and figure out what your next steps are. You don't have to know the next step that you're going to take, but I will say that knowing your options is going to make you feel a little bit more settled. I feel like you have a lot of friends, good community, networking opportunities as well. That are available to you, and part of that, Spirit's asking you to reach out to some people, maybe get into contact with someone you haven't talked to in a while. You're interested where they're at, how they're doing, maybe say, hey, I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for a promotion, I'm looking to make more money, etc. Because there's something in your environment that's going to be building up for you this year. You feel like, I think in some ways you feel like you're starting from ground zero, but you're not. You do have a good foundation set for you. I think you're just, there's still some things that you have to put into play to feel more grounded and stable is what I'm hearing. Why do I want the relationship I want? So when it comes to our finances, what are you expecting of yourself? Finances are difficult. We need them to live, right? There are sustainability. They can also be very superficial, and the pursuit of money can leave us feeling incredibly empty, lack of fulfillment, etc. I love money. I love having money in my pocket, whatever. We all do, right? It's this element of security. I'm hearing that you have to reevaluate what your expectations are first. This is also about doing business, finding a career, finding an environment, a company that is a little bit more honoring of your vision, that reciprocity I was talking about earlier. And then that's when you're actually going to see the money roll in. Right now, you're too emotional about it. King of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. You might be dealing with someone in that vein that is making it really hard for you. Maybe they're affecting your finances. Maybe they're overly emotional. And you're trying to just be smart about how you play this role out. We've been seeing this a lot. So whether you share financial responsibility with someone else, you have a partner in business, whatever it might be, unfortunately, in January, there is this disconnect. It's a difference of opinion. It's not being on the same page. And I feel like it feels a little bit overwhelming. We have the Knight of Cups energy as well. So you have a lot of people involved in your finances, whether it's people contributing or you taking care of people. This can be children, this can be an elderly parent, grandparent, etc. It seems, yeah, oh my gosh, you got all court cards in your financial energy. So and that can be really hard, right? Like when other people have responsibility for our financial well-being or we have to rely on other people for that sustenance. This, I think communication is the key. That's what I'm going to say about this, and maintaining that focus on understanding what the end goals are and making some practical adjustments as to how you're going to get there, right? Maybe you need to do a little research on business, on finance, on budgeting, on how you can grow, how you can expand your money, right? Because, and especially when there are so many people at play, this is a conversation to be had with everybody. Number one, making sure everyone gets on the same page and actually follows through with what they agree to. And then, like I said, I feel like there's other opportunities that are waiting to come in, but you have to make the decision to choose what's right for you, not just take something because it's offered or given. I intend to co-create from my place of positive attraction. When dealing with those closest to us, home, family, friends, environment, it's the more positive we are, the better the results are going to be versus scrutinizing, judging, criticizing other people. That really doesn't get us too far. I think the practical way to approach things is like, okay, this is how we see things. This is how we think about things. How can we find compromise? How can we find a way to move forward that makes everyone feel good? It's not about constantly fighting, constantly challenging each other, etc. There's something about home and family that's making you want to run away or maybe seek out things that don't make it feel so bad. So just be really conscious of where that's showing up for you. You have a lot of anxiety around this. Maybe you slipped up, maybe you made a mistake, you made a choice that you wouldn't have beforehand, or had it been a different situation. This is a little bit of a hiding energy, I'm not going to lie. And, you're going to know what your specific situation is. Obviously, these are collective readings. Here's the thing. I feel like you might have an opportunity to break away from a long-term partnership relationship and it's stressing you out. Maybe you've dipped your toe in the water a little bit around this relationship and you're afraid of getting found out is what I'm hearing. I also think, again, it's going back to that thing, like, if we're hiding behind fear, eventually we're going to get found out, and I think especially when we're coming from a place of trying to hide or we don't want someone to find out, etc., that is a more low vibey energy. So Aquarius, here's the thing. I feel like you have an opportunity to break away, and I feel like in some ways that's what you want. If you've been with someone for a long time, that's a big decision. That's a hard decision to make. Be kind and gentle with yourself. Definitely listen to your own instincts. Also remember, if you're constantly picking apart someone, their flaws, how they're not good enough for you, or they're not like you, or you're better than them, or whatever, then that's going to continually be mirrored back to you. we have to, especially in long-term relationship, it's like going back to that honeymoon phase. What did we love about them in the beginning? What are their strengths? What inspires you and makes you feel more empowered? And then the shit that they have to work on, yeah, I mean, let them know if that's a conversation that needs to be had, but stop trying to control and dictate how they work through things. And if it is not enough, then it is the time to walk away. And I do see that for some of you saying, you know what, enough is enough. I've been doing this for a long time and I'm ready to just see what other options are available for me. Making peace with my today will improve my future. This again can be a very difficult energy to conquer, because I was actually thinking about this the other day about, you know, why manifesting can feel so difficult is because we can get so sucked into what's happening in the here and now. And it makes it hard to rewrite the story of what is coming and what is in the future. I feel like Spirit is saying that you do have those things coming in. You do have to trust that, but you also have to make peace with what is going on right now. I feel like you've seen something, something has come in that it's giving you this complete clarity. This is not what you wanted. It's not what you signed up for. It's a habit, it's a cycle, it's a pattern, and it's actually affecting your happiness, your well-being. And it's time to flip the script, especially when it comes to our health and wellness. It's so important to take care of ourselves. That is the number one foundation for happiness and fulfillment, how healthy we are. We all know when we don't feel well, when, you know, God forbid, something happened to us physically, mentally, emotionally, it's really hard to practice self-care in those moments. That's why when we're feeling strong, when we have the inspiration to do it, it lays that foundation for the more difficult times. You're putting a lot on your plate, you're juggling a lot and not making enough time for yourself, Aquarius. So be really mindful. I think you have to delegate a little bit more is what I'm hearing. Let go of some of those reins. You don't have to control everything. And I think also being at peace with where you're at this time, what you can do, what you can give, what you can afford, and don't ask more from yourself. I can look for things that I appreciate in relationships. So when you're approaching your community, the people around you, it's really important this month to find the value, find the good, find the inspiration. Don't be Debbie Downer. With this Empress energy, it seems like you do have a lot of people that look up to you, that admire you, they respect you, etc. And so being in that vibe means that you have to let people be themselves, right? Especially if we find ourselves in a more leadership position, whether that's a leader in our community, in our home, in our family, etc. It doesn't matter where. Like, this is a lot about you kind of finding more balanced ways to stay on top. I know that's kind of weird, right? Because it's not about being on top, but there's a reason why, there's a reason why people look up to you, why they gravitate towards you, etc. And so Spirit's asking you to use that energy with wisdom, with care, with honor and sacrament versus, getting, what do they call it? Fame drunk, or what is it? I can't remember. Drunk off the fame. I don't know. Drunk off the, whatever, superiority complex, whatever it is. Your home and family does come up a lot. So to me, this looks like your home, your family, and your community are kind of at war with each other. There needs to be a little bit more healing and intention around your community dynamic as well. So I feel like you spend a lot of time on your family, a lot of focus, but it's like trying to control things that you can't. You're pissed off at someone, they're not doing how you wanted wanted it to be, and it's creating all this tension and chaos, and then that infiltrates your community and those around you and the way that you interact and treat those people as well. I intend to see the best in everyone. Aquarius, this is definitely a theme in your reading, is being a little bit more positive and giving people more grace, right? It's hard to do at times, especially when we work really hard on ourselves. But the fact that you're getting sucked into a narcissistic energy really kind of shows that there might be some superficiality that is, you know, like that you're kind of operating out of. No shade. I'm not saying that in a bad way. Narcissists often play to our ego, especially in that initial contact or initial connection with each other. You need to create better boundaries. I feel like better boundaries with this person who is really low vibey. And then also not getting too sucked into what didn't work out accordingly. Sometimes when we're in this Five of Cups energy, it's like the grass is greener on the other side, in the way that we missed an opportunity or we feel like we did. And that's really not the truth, actually. This was something you had to walk through in order to see this person and future people like this energy very clearly. If you are someone who is in a leadership position or kind of up front and center, then people are going to be wanting things from you always, right? That's just the nature of being in those roles. And so when we have been given that, we need to know how to use it with responsibility, right? And not just feeding into the people that appease our ego, that make us feel really big and powerful and awesome and that we can do no wrong. It's great. I'm all about puffing the ego up, but at the same time, we got to make sure that we stay in checks and balances. Okay, so Four of Air energy, really meditating on this. I think that you have to vet people a little bit better. You have what you want coming in. And I think it's actually going to come in this month. I don't think that you're waiting around for it, but Spirit really wants you to keep those antennae up, making sure that you're not just saying yes to say yes, or because it's an option, because it's available, but really kind of taking a beat, assessing it. How does it feel for you? How does it fit? Does it fit with your overall goal and vision? Or do you think that this is someone who's going to detour you or take you down this path of karma once again? You've learned the lessons, and I feel like you're in a good space moving forward, but I also do think that you're disappointed, you're heartbroken. Some of the stuff that's happened has just been really heavy, and now you're just trying to pick up the pieces. But like I said, you know, I feel like once you get this person out of your energy, it is going to be release. If you have to go through a divorce, Godspeed to you. I'm sending all the love and good vibes. Those can be very messy situations. Know that you are protected. Know that you are going to move through this. You're a smart cookie. You know how this person works. Just be prepared. And hopefully it won't get too messy. So we can always check back in. Definitely look at the daily readings. Those can give a little bit of insight. I'm sending you lots of love and blessings as you navigate through. I really appreciate your time and energy listening in on this reading. Definitely drop comments below. Let me know if it resonated. I love hearing how it plays out in your life. Thank you. Always Happy New Year. I hope you have a fabulous January. Lots of love.